Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Worlds Collide. I'm joined again here by Mitch, and we're doing... Who are we doing today?
We're doing A Man Without Fear.
Ooh, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm Justin, if you haven't tuned into any of our other episodes, and this is actually episode 12.
It is.
So we've been going for 3 months strong here now. I don't think we've taken a week off,
We have that.
other than weather permitting.
Yes.
And we were able to do a double feature last week, so if you
To make up for it.
Yes, of course. So if you missed out last week, we did a double feature. We did Punisher to start,
Yeah.
and then followed by the Emerald Archer,
Yes.
Green Arrow.
Yes.
So like we said, this week is going to be...
Another dark character, more violent character, Daredevil.
Yes, the Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And this is another big one, too, because it's one of the Netflix series specials.
That's right.
Just like the last two. So if you haven't seen The Punisher on Netflix, awesome show.
Well, Green Arrow's not really a Netflix.
Not a Netflix show. I think it's on Netflix now, though.
It would have benefited to be on Netflix.
Oh, it would have benefited hugely for the Arrowverse if it premiered as a Netflix
Yes.
exclusive.
Yes.
That
Much
was
like
sad.
Titans.
Yes, yes. Titans did well.
Yes. Although it didn't premiere as Netflix.
No, I don't think it
I
did.
think it's HBO.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, you're right.
Irrelevant.
Anyways, Daredevil. Alright, so Daredevil is one of the more well-known characters, I think, of the Marvel Universe.
When did we first see his appearance? Is it 64?
64.
Yeah.
In his own solo, so
Yes.
which is unique. Not very unique, but it didn't happen that often back then, because like Spider-Man's first appearance was in Amazing Fantasies number 15. 14? 15? I think 15. Amazing Fantasies number 15. I think Doctor Strange had his first appearance in like Strange Tales or whatever.
What's Strange Tales?
It's just like
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And same thing with like Ant-Man was like Journey into the Mystery, I think, was his first appearance.
They weren't big enough standalone hitters.
That's right. That's
Daredevil
right.
was.
Yeah. So Daredevil was issue number 1, 1964.
And in issue 1, they
introduced his origin. They introduced Foggy
I was gonna say
and
Foggy.
Karen Page.
and Karen. Okay.
So in issue number 1, in most like, if you guys all seen the movie, the Ben Affleck movie, and the Netflix show, they've always depicted as Matt Murdock having his accident and going blind when he was still a child.
Did that not happen?
No, in the comics, he was already a teenager getting ready to go to college.
Ah, he was a lot older then.
Yeah.
And had his dad been killed at that point?
No,
No. Okay, so they just basically made everything happen much younger.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the comics, he's a academic athlete. So his dad was a boxer, just like they've depicted, and he always felt like he didn't do enough with his life. It was his goal to make sure that Matt does better.
Mm-hmm.
So he always strove for Matt to concentrate on his studies, do good in his grades. But even though like Matt hit the books, he was a very smart kid. He also was an athlete. He was part of the football team and very athletically gifted, always training. Yeah.
An acrobat.
Yep.
Right?
Well, does some acrobatics.
In his arsenal, basically, he has.
Well, he becomes an
Yes,
acrobat.
yes.
But at the time when he was in high school,
He's
not
just your average kid.
yeah.
Natural athlete, plays
That's
on a
right.
lot of the sport teams.
Yeah. So what happens was, just like they depicted in the movies and the TV show, the Netflix show, there was an old man crossing the street, and Matt saw this happening, and the man was blind, the old man was blind, and the old man doesn't see the truck coming, so Matt runs and jumps to save the old man, but in doing so, the vehicle turns over. It was carrying these chemicals, sprays over him, causing him to go blind, but enhances all his senses.
Yeah. What you lose in one area, he picks up in all his others.
That's right. So when he goes blind, being raised by a single father, his father was a not successful boxer, so his dad couldn't afford the medical bills for Matt's accident. So Matt's father ends up going to see some
The Fixer.
The Fixer, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the Fixer starts arranging fixed fights for battling Jack Murdoch, Matt's dad. And then with all the money he was making for these fixed fights, he was able to pay for the medical bills for Matt.
But these fixed fights usually entailed him taking big losses.
No, he went on a winning streak.
Did he?
Yeah, he won a bunch of he was winning a bunch of matches.
Until the final one.
That's right. So Matt ended up going to college, and in college, that's where he met Foggy. And then one day Matt decided to go see his father box. But that same day, the Fixer wanted Matt's dad to throw the fight to lose, but Jack's pride was too strong. He didn't want to lose in front of his boy.
Too used to winning at this point.
Well, it's not even the lose to win. He would have lost. It was if it was in the fact that Matt was in the stadium.
In the stadium that day.
That's right.
Because he didn't want his dad.
That's
right.
right.
He did best.
Exactly. They didn't want to lose in front of his son. So Jack won, legitimately won.
Yeah. He wasn't supposed to.
No. And so the Fixer sent somebody to go kill Jack, leaving Matt without a father, leaving Matt as an orphan. Well, an orphan. He's already in college, so it's not that. I think that's why the shows and the movie made him much younger when they did it, because it's much more impactful leaving him as an orphan as like an 8-year-old child as opposed to
as an
already in college. It's not as impactful.
A young adult who's now like, okay, well, it's almost time to fly anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, hit him hard and young, and it's like, well, now what?
Yeah.
Where's home?
Yeah. So when in the first issue, in an internal monologue, Matt explains how strong his senses have become.
It's almost like he has echolocation.
Yeah. So he describes his hearing is to a point where he could hear a person's heartbeat when they're in the same room. Once he picks up a scent, he'll never forget it. He'll remember it till the day he dies.
That would be annoying. That would be really annoying.
Yeah. He can pick up so that was his sense of hearing and his sense of smell. For his sense of touch, he could pick up a gun and know how many bullets were left in the gun.
By the weights.
Yeah.
It was just that sensitive to touch.
Yeah. His palate, he could eat a pretzel and know how many pieces of salt was on that pretzel. And,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then he also has his echolocation, his ability to sense where everything is just by hearing.
It's like radar.
Exactly, like just walking
sound waves
around,
bouncing off each other in the room, essentially, right?
Exactly. Kind of like Toph in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
It also increased his strength. He was a lot stronger than what he was prior to the accident, and also an increased sense of balance as well. Probably because of his increased senses. You have increased tactile sense and increased hearing. Your reflexes are going to go up. Your balance is going to go up. And with your balance going up, you being a personal trainer know that your physical strength will go up as well.
Of course, much stronger stability, right?
Yeah.
Now, the toxin or radioactive chemical that got in his eyes, same shit that got the Ninja Turtles.
Pretty much. So let's address the elephant in the room. There's been a lot of comparisons between Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles, and I'm going to list off three things about the comparison between the two. There's more. I'm sure if you Googled the comparisons between the Ninja Turtles and Daredevil, you're going to see a bunch of different comparisons. But the three major ones is they both got their powers from an accidental toxin.
The green goo.
They're both ninjas, and
of different extremities.
Yes.
One hand, one foot.
Oh, and yeah, they're villains. So the Ninja Turtles fight the Foot Clan, and Daredevil fights the the Hand.
Yes.
So
those are just a few.
Just a few. I'm sure there's a bunch more comparisons between the two, but it just when I found out that there was an actual correlation between Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles, and when somebody mentioned the foot and the hand, I'm like, holy shit.
So, those are like some decent powers. They're nothing super extreme though.
That's right.
Like he's still human. He's
That's
still
right.
mortal by all means.
That's right. That's what made him an appealing character.
Yeah, because maybe this might happen. You know, you lose one sense, you do pick up a bunch of others. They maybe not be to that extreme. Probably don't keep your fighting skills as well by any means. But what if you did?
Yeah.
And that's what makes him an awesome character. He's a what if character.
Yeah. And well, he's a superhero with a disability. I mean, like
That's
anybody who has a disability can relate to that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome in the sense that he has the best identity too, for hiding.
Mm-hmm. Who would expect that a blind man was going around being a superhero?
You're a lawyer. You're way too busy.
A blind
and
lawyer.
You're blind.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't have time for that.
No, nobody would believe that. But
Great cover.
funny enough, Daredevil is one of the superheroes who's probably one of the worst at keeping his secret identities.
Yeah.
He's been outed a bunch of times.
Now, in his very first comic premiere, he had the yellow and red suit.
Yes. That lasted for 6 issues.
Was that when he had the ropes?
No.
That was something different. Was that just Netflix?
Yeah, that was just that.
Okay, I was like,
Sort of. We'll get to that.
okay, we'll get to that.
So when he first started, he had the yellow. He had the yellow suit with only a single D on his chest, and then by issue 7, a new creative team took over the Daredevil title, and they changed his look to the red suit that we all know with the double D.
Double D.
Yeah.
Around the chest.
Yeah. He's fought various villains that shares with Spider-Man, like Electro and Mysterio, the Owl. He's made. Stiltman is a Daredevil villain.
Daredevil exclusive.
Yeah.
Same with Elektra.
Well, Electra
Premiered as an exclusively Daredevil villain, but then transferred over through a bunch of them.
more like the opposite.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So let's fast forward a bunch of years. So Daredevil started in 1964.
Okay.
In 1979, Frank Miller took over Daredevil.
Right.
You all know Frank Miller for his work on Sin City. So Frank Miller is a very much darker visionary when it comes to comics. So when he took over Daredevil, he kind of revamped Daredevil a little bit, did a little bit of retconning. So when Frank Miller took over, he made it so that Matt's dad was actually an alcoholic and would actually beat Matt.
Took it away from the happy father vibe.
That's right. Matt's dad was still pushing him to do better, but he was not a good person.
Okay.
What else did Frank Miller introduce? Frank Miller is the one who introduced the Hand. Frank Miller is the one who introduced Elektra. Elektra did not exist until 1979.
She was hired on by Kingpin.
No. So, she becomes a... no, I know she was hired by the Kingpin. She was one of Kingpin's
Hired assassin.
hitmen. Yeah. Because when Bullseye kills Elektra, he does it because he wants to become Kingpin's new main assassin.
Right, I was going to say, she was in before Bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty... Okay. Now, with Frank Miller taking over, was this prior to or after... Is it Black Canary?
Black Canary was Green Arrow.
Sorry. Black Widow.
Black Widow was before.
Okay.
So Daredevil met Black Widow back in 1960s.
And they had a thing I thought for a few years where they even had
Matt's had a thing with many women. Matt is
Playboy Matt.
Matt is Marvel's male slut.
Give it to the blind guy.
Yeah, he's been with Black Widow. He's been with Karen Page. He's been with Elektra. He's been with Typhoid Mary. He's been with a bunch others that he's been with. He might have been with Spider Woman at one point. Yeah, Matt's a slut.
Murdoch, you dog.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so yeah, I was reading a little bit about him today, in regards to just things he's done, and that was one of the first things I read. Him and his Black Widow affair, or their relationship.
Yeah.
Carried on for many years. They actually moved to different city together.
They did. They ended up moving
Seattle
to something like that. It wasn't well received by the audience because that Matt Murdock, Daredevil specifically, was so intrinsically identified with Hell's Kitchen. They moved him away from Hell's Kitchen, so it wasn't well received.
Yeah, because when they broke up, they had him go back to New York.
Yeah.
And that was when he met Typhoid Mary, and Elektra came in, and then Bullseye came in.
Yeah. Bullseye actually ended up kidnapping Black Widow. And Daredevil had to go save Black Widow from Bullseye.
Bullseye's such a great villain.
Yeah.
I loved him in the first movie. He played by Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And
It was the best part of that movie, I think.
I didn't love Colin Farrell's performance, per se. Although it wasn't awful.
He was very cartoony.
Yeah.
But that's probably why he was probably my favorite part of that movie.
He made it fun. He made it fun, just the character alone. And then obviously
when he throws in
the bar.
Yeah, when he takes the paper clip and breaks it up and throws it into like little shards.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It was good. But in the movie, in the Netflix series.
Oh man, they made him a fucking badass.
I don't think I've ever seen that actor perform before.
I don't think so either.
God, he did good.
Yeah.
Came out of the gate strong, like, you liked him.
Yeah.
That was the best part. You liked him, and then you're like, oh, but you're bad.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta be bad?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't care that you're bad.
Yeah.
He makes a fucking weapon out of anything he touches.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
The office fight was...
Oh, phenomenal. Well, it was last night. I fell asleep to it. I tried putting on the final episode.
Okay, yeah. The three-way between him,
Bullseye,
and
Kingpin. Yeah, so just watching that was just great.
Yeah.
Just great. Watching them all slug blow for blow.
It makes me sad that they canceled it because they...
Fourth season.
Well, because they ended it where Kingpin breaks Bullseye's back.
Yeah,
and then you see at the very end, the doctors are operating on his spine.
Yeah, so it's like he's coming back.
Well, here's what really happens to him. So what happens was, this is all Frank Miller. Frank Miller introduces Elektra. He does a whole entire backstory about how her and Matt met in college. They fell in love, and then
first love.
Yeah, yeah. And then when she came back, she finds out that he's Daredevil, but she's a criminal and he's a superhero, so they can't be together, kind of thing. That's their relationship summed up in a nutshell.
Yeah, you see it briefly in the Netflix series. How, well, they go above and beyond that. They do Elektra's backstory too.
Yeah.
Where she's the Dark One.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're bad. I'm good.
Yeah.
Won't work. It's just fun.
That was when they did the backstory of Elektra, how Matt met Elektra. It actually shows the first time Matt accidentally killed somebody. Because what happened is that Elektra and her dad ends up getting kidnapped by some criminals. Mm-hmm. This is where I said I was going to come back with the raps. So when Elektra and her dad got kidnapped by criminals, Matt Murdock found out about it, and he wasn't Daredevil at the time yet, so he didn't have any of the costume or anything like that. So he put on a costume that looks very familiar from the Netflix show, with the bandana over his head and the wraps and everything, just like from the Netflix show. He went and goes and saves them, but as he saves them, Elektra is getting herself free, and she's no damsel in distress. She ends up kicking ass as well as Daredevil. Yeah. As both of them are fighting these criminals, one of the criminals gets knocked out of a window and falls to his death. And the cops that are outside, because they know about the hostage situation, they think that the criminals are starting to kill hostages. So they start shooting at the room, and they end up killing Elektra's dad.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just stupidity in the police.
Yeah.
There's more hostages in there. Quickly shoot.
Yeah. Well, they're thinking they're killing the hostages.
kill him first. Let's go.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, so Lecter's dad dies.
Yeah.
Who was to blame though for knocking the criminal out the window? Was it Matt?
No, she didn't blame Matt. She knows it wasn't Matt's fault, but it did make her leave. Like they couldn't be together. She ended up leaving.
Too much emotion.
That's right.
Too much mixed emotion.
That's right. And then they don't see each other until years later. He's Daredevil and she's.
Oh, that was the first love in college.
Yeah.
When all that happened.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, okay, so that would cause separation. All right, Dad's dead. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Fuck, no wonder.
Yeah.
Years later, they light a spark again.
Yeah. Yeah, because he says something to her and she realizes that he's Matt, and they stop fighting, and then she's after Daredevil for some reason. I forgot what the reason was. Hired by Kingpin or whatever. But anyway, when she finds out that he's Matt, they stop fighting. And then in her moment of weakness, this is when... No, wait, no. Okay, so after that, Kingpin hires her to go and kill Foggy.
Who's Foggy? We haven't really talked about that yet.
Well, Foggy is Matt's best friend.
It's pretty important.
Yes.
So he was actually introduced in episode 1 in his premiere, like...
Issue number 1.
Yeah, issue number 1. He's Matt's partner in crime.
Well, not
fighting
in crime.
crime.
In fighting crime.
In fighing crime.
In fighting crime.
He's his lawyer assistant.
Yeah. So they open up their own
law firm,
Nelson and Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
They hire on Karen as their secretary, and the three of them kind of kick ass by day, and he kicks real ass by night.
Yeah. There was a love triangle between Foggy, Karen, and Matt. Karen ended up choosing Matt, but yeah, there was a little competition between Matt and Foggy for a little bit for Karen's affection.
Yep. Happens from time to time, but
yeah.
So with that said, sorry, as you're saying.
Okay, so Kingpin hires Elektra to go kill Foggy for reasons, probably because Foggy was after Daredevil, Kingpin trying to pin him for some crimes or whatever.
Always. That's what their job is, right? They're trying to hunt down the criminal and put him away.
That's right. So she sends Elektra to go kill Foggy, and as she has Foggy pinned, ready to kill him, she was completely ready and willing to kill him. Foggy starts begging for his life and reminds her that he's Matt's best friend, and she decides not to kill him. She decides to let him go. In that moment of weakness, that's when Bullseye comes around and stabs her with her own sai.
Now, did she know Foggy before?
Yes, she knew him in college.
Oh, so they went to college together. They're friends together.
Yeah, well, he was roommates with Matt, and her and Matt.
I understand.
So her and Matt were together for a year before that event happened with her dad.
So she did know Foggy prior to getting the hit on him.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So after she decides not to kill Foggy, that's when Bullseye comes around and stabs her in the gut with her own sai. She doesn't die right there, though. She gets away and crawls to Matt's doorstep, where Matt finds her, and she dies in his lap.
Excellent. Way better place.
Yeah.
Matt, avenge me.
Yeah, pretty much. So she does. Daredevil goes and finds Bullseye. They end up having a fight. The fight ended up being on some kind of clothesline between two buildings, and Bullseye drops and falls, getting himself paralyzed, breaking his back.
Excellent. And then Netflix season 3 ends.
Yes. So what happens to Bullseye after that? Bullseye does get his back fixed. Not a lot of people know this. I think this is a very interesting fact. Bullseye gets his spine fixed by getting adamantium fused into his spine. Yeah. That's why I got excited. That's why I got excited when I saw his spine getting operated by those doctors at the end of season 3. I'm like, ooh, are we gonna get adamantium spine Bullseye? That's awesome.
Huh? That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because then obviously he's not out.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a return.
Yeah. So after that happened, Bullseye got relegated to you barely saw him. Like Frank Miller didn't use Bullseye at all for the rest of his run, writing and drawing for Daredevil.
He probably didn't need to, because being like the sole writer of it, he just brought him in, used him as much as you can, outroed him, and that's it.
That's
it. You served your purpose and you're done. I'm not gonna just keep reusing you. It's bad writing.
Yeah. Well, he used Bullseye to do exactly what he wanted to do, which was
kill Elektra.
Well, not kill Elektra. He introduced Elektra. Frank Miller introduced Elektra, then has her killed off. He did all of that to make Daredevil, the title, the story, a much darker story. Because before that, he was more like Spider-Man, a Spider-Man knockoff. That's
happy-go-lucky, always winning, gets a girl.
Superhero, right. So,
make him mortal, make him feel pain, make him lose.
Yeah.
Make him lose more.
People die, and make him really hurt people. So here's where it gets really dark. So
well, you know what they say, when it rains it pours.
Yeah. So Bullseye is in the hospital after he got his spine broken, and Daredevil breaks into his hospital room. He wants to know who hired him. So he grabs a gun and points it at Bullseye and plays Russian roulette with him. So click, and then click, and then click until he tells him who hired him. Bullseye doesn't know there's no bullets in it, but still, the fact that he's playing Russian roulette with Bullseye and like it scares the piss out of him until he tells him that it's
awesome.
The Kingpin. Yeah.
See, I would have figured the gun was loaded, and Matt just knew and could hear when the bullet slid in the chamber.
He definitely could.
Yeah, that'd be a better way to write that. I'd leave a bullet in the fucking gun.
Yeah.
Bang, Daredevil kills himself.
When it comes down to it, he's not willing to kill. No, he's not the Punisher.
No, it's easier to just have the empty gun and go click, 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 click. Good, he wasn't counting.
Yeah.
He did one extra and he wasn't counting.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm surprised Bullseye gave up the info.
Yeah.
He's a pretty badass dude.
Yeah, he's also insane.
Yeah, I guess. Fuck it. Fuck the guy who told me to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Better than you killing me.
Yeah.
So who ended up telling him to do it?
It was the Kingpin.
It was the Kingpin, okay,
yeah.
So.
Well, he did it to impress the Kingpin.
Right. So he wasn't even hired, really.
Not
just,
really.
I'm freelance.
Pretty much.
You got your back broken working freelance, man. No coverage, no benefits.
Frank Miller was also the one who made Karen Page a heroin addict and a porn star.
Yeah, she wasn't that before.
No.
She kind of went on a bender.
Yeah.
She's pre-Matt or after Matt?
After Matt.
Well, Matt, you're breaking women's heart here.
Yeah.
Making them turn to the crack and the pole.
Yeah. Another big event that happened with Matt, skipping a bunch of years, but there's other
call
things
it Matt's dirty dog years.
Yeah. Well, I'm skipping all the way to 2009.
Holy shit.
There's lots that happens for him, but nothing that really sparks my interest that makes me want to talk about it on this show that makes me think this needs to be told. But in 2009, Matt ends up becoming the leader of the Hand.
No way.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You find out afterwards, after the fact, that he was actually possessed by a demon.
Well, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Mephisto?
I don't know who this demon is.
Okay. Because I know at one point he fights Mephisto. He basically has showdown against him.
Does he?
I believe so.
That'd be a one-sided fight.
Oh, fuck yeah. Mephisto will whoop him.
Yeah. Well, it's just I seen this one cover art of Daredevil versus Namor the Submariner. I'm thinking, oh yeah, Daredevil's a good fighter. He's skilled. He can go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man. But Namor would wreck him. Namor is bulletproof. He's almost as strong as a Hulk.
He's got little flying wings.
Yeah. Yeah. Namor's a badass.
But, I would give it to Spider. I'd give it to Spidey.
Oh, Spider-Man beats Daredevil. They even say, it's almost impossible to sneak up on Daredevil because of his echolocation sense. But
Spider Sense trumps it, right?
Well, it's not the Spider-Man's Spider Sense trumps it. Is that if somebody who could move sufficiently fast enough they could move. They could move faster than his echolocation could warn him.
Rebound.
And Spider-Man is fast enough to outspeed the echolocation.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's powerful.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure at what point in the storyline, but it was one of the things I was reading up earlier on today. It was at some point he goes up against Mephisto.
What doesn't surprise me, he does fight a lot of mystic stuff because of the hand.
Mm-hmm.
The ninja stuff.
Yeah, it said that he was leader of the hand. I think I read that too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how'd that all happen to play out? So you said he got possessed by a demon.
Yeah, eventually he exercises the demon and leaves the hand.
Do we know who the demon was? Where did the demon come from?
No, I didn't read a lot of it. I just knew that happened. And that was all prior to the Secret Invasion, the Secret Wars.
So before he becomes an Avenger.
No, so he becomes an Avenger sort of during Civil War. This all happens after Civil War.
Okay. Cause so he's been around for so long. It's hard to find where he falls into which timeline.
Yeah,
because he's been in a lot of them.
Yes, he's been an important character. So after he leaves the hand, he goes off to find himself, I guess, and leaves the mantle of Daredevil for Black Panther. So
No way.
Yeah, and then there was a title. There was a title that comic book title that was Black Panther: Man Without Fear.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, at one point, didn't Batman fill in for Daredevil, or was it vice versa?
Batman's
sorry.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist filled in for Daredevil during Civil War.
It was during Civil War.
Yeah. So there's other important things that happened in Civil War. This isn't Daredevil related per se; it's more Elektra related. I don't know if we'll do an episode on Elektra.
I don't.
But
there's been a movie, so maybe.
That's a really shitty movie.
Yeah, I know.
What's that?
They did do two, I think.
They made a sequel?
I think there's an Elektra too.
Either I was not aware of it, or
Same
I was
actress,
aware
Jennifer
of it,
Garner?
and I just erased it from my memory.
I don't really remember what happens in the second one.
I was not aware there was a second one.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on Elektra. She's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, but in Civil War, the first person that people find out that was a Skrull, not Civil War. It was the Skrull invasion, the Secret Invasion. It was Elektra that was revealed to be a Skrull for years.
Really?
Yeah.
So she had been dead.
Yeah.
Being impersonated by the Skrull.
Yeah.
And the Skrull had all her power. Well, she doesn't have powers.
No. But she was
a fighter.
She was the leader of the Hand at the time. So the Skrulls.
We're the leader of the Hand.
That's right.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's influence.
Yeah.
That's how you invade a fucking planet.
Yeah. You invade our secret ninja society.
Yeah, and just become everyone that's like got control over other people.
Yeah.
Because who do we see a prime example of? Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Right? In the last movie.
Yeah.
Was it Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got S.H.I.E.L.D. / sword.
Yeah, but that's different.
A little different.
Because Nick Fury is aware that a Skrull was impersonating him.
Yeah,
probably hired him.
Probably was like, yeah, go down there, I'm busy.
I need to be there, but I can't be there because I'm busy up here. But the world needs a Nick Fury, so go down there and be Nick Fury.
Go be Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I could just see him in a back room interrogating people, doing fucking auditions. Or, no! Next! No! No! That'd be funny. So, in terms of the Secret Invasion, Elektra was the first one to be outed.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew she's now a Skrull.
Mm-hmm. That's when they start realizing, shit, there's Skrulls on this planet.
Oh, man. Who finds that out? Who finds out that Elektra's a Skrull? Do you know?
Yeah, well, it was during an Avengers mission, and Elektra just happened to be there, and she got knocked out. And when she got knocked out,
obviously
she reverted back to being a Skrull.
And they're like, who brought her?
Yeah. Yeah. And how long has she been a Skrull? And that's when they start realizing she's been a Skrull for a long time.
Jesus
so
Christ.
She's been a Skrull for a long time. How many other people have been replaced by Skrulls?
That's where you go around just knocking everyone out.
That's right. That's right. So that was a Secret Invasion that happens after Civil War.
Now, do we think that's where Phase 4 is going?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so, because the Skrulls. So you have the Secret Invasion. That was a big event in recent comic book history, but the Infinity Wars, the Infinity Gauntlet was back in like 1970s. Another event that happened in the 1970s was the Kree Skrull War.
So that might be something that they're doing.
That's right.
And that's what you think it is?
I think so.
It would make sense because of what they did with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Right? They brought in the Skrees.
The Kree.
They brought in the Kree.
And the Skrull. Well, really what they brought in was Skrull, because they had already kind of introduced the Kree.
What do we got here?
Do you guys think Daredevil has fucked everyone in Hell's Kitchen?
I don't think everyone.
Close to.
Like if not with his dick, his fist, for sure. There was some fisting. Maybe a little batoning.
Well, consider the fact that in the all-new, all-different Marvel, Foggy and Matt aren't best friends anymore. Foggy doesn't trust Matt anymore because of all the lies and the deception and everything like that. So in a way, Matt's also fucked Foggy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, how do you like that, Mads? How's that for an answer? More questions just like that need to be coming.
Yeah. Ask away, guys. Speaking of all new, all different Marvel, so like I've said, Daredevil's been one of the superheroes that's been one of the worst at keeping their identities. Matt's been outed a bunch of times. One of the last ones, like everybody knew that he was Daredevil. He got discarded as a lawyer. But then after the whole entire Secret Wars that happened, they did the Marvel soft reboot.
He was able to keep it under wraps again.
It seems like everybody forgot that he's Daredevil. Even Elektra doesn't know he's Daredevil.
Daredevil? What?
Yeah.
That's good, though. That's good. Like Kingpin knows.
No.
Well, Kingpin did know.
He did know. He doesn't know anymore.
Kingpin was one of the ones in charge of fucking him out of his career, essentially.
Right.
Like, ruining his law firm, ruining his relationships, trying to kill the people he loved, Karen, Foggy, etc.
That's right.
Bullseye knew.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to think what other villains of Daredevil knew.
Mysterio.
Mysterio, yes, of course.
How else was he going to be able to fuck with Matt without knowing his true identity, right?
Very true, Mysterio knew.
Speaking of which, I'm going to take this opportunity to correct something I had said during our Mysterio review. So I had said that Mysterio had fucked with Karen Page. He actually kills Karen Page. He has Karen Page killed during that run.
I mean, there was another thing that you wanted to retcon too. So you told the cartoon version of Mysterio's origin.
Yes. So okay, well, I guess this is a good way for me to do it.
We're talking about Mysterio. Let's just sum it all up.
Yeah. So if anybody who's watched my episode, our episode on Mysterio,
Episode 7.
I had mentioned that Mysterio's origin was that there was an accident on set, and he blamed Spider-Man and why he wanted to have revenge. In actuality, his actual origin is a lot more lame than that. His actual origin was he's a special effects master who decides, hey, I could probably make a quick buck with using my special effects skills, and decides to go pretend to be Spider-Man to go rob a few banks. Then he creates Mysterio persona to go stop Spider-Man. So now he's doing the fame and the fortune.
Yeah.
That was his big origin. Nothing sinister. There was no revenge plot. He just wanted to be rich.
Yeah. And as far as his playover with Daredevil, I know we talked about a bunch of previous episodes. How does Daredevil know Mysterio? And vice versa.
Mysterio is a Spider-Man villain that he constantly gets his ass kicked by Spider-Man, so he's looking for somebody else that he could go up against.
They both run New York, right?
Yeah, and also Kingpin hires him.
Ah, see, that's it. Okay,
Yeah.
so Kingpin says, "Hey, come fuck with Daredevil."
Exactly.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So that being said, so some notable stories for anybody who wants to pick up Daredevil. There is a series of Daredevil. So funny enough, we talked about Green Arrow last week, and there was a really good story of Green Arrow that was written by Kevin Smith called Quiver, there's a really good story. The whole entire Mysterio story was written by Kevin Smith as well. The Daredevil written by Kevin Smith. The Frank Miller series back in 1979, between 1979 and 1983. If you can find those comics, those are regarded as some of the Daredevil's best stories. And then after that, for the next 4 years, he was written by a woman who ended up introducing more female-based characters like Typhoid Mary, one of my favorite villains. I was really excited to see her in the second season of Iron Fist because I'm a big fan of the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was introduced as yet another Daredevil lover / villain. So he's got a lot of those. Matt's got issues.
He likes the bad girl.
He's got a type.
Crazy bad girl.
He definitely likes them crazy.
Yeah.
Karen Page ended up becoming a heroin addict and a porn star. Elektra ended up becoming an assassin, and Typhoid Mary has multiple personality syndrome. So
he's bad 3 for 3. He's got a bench full of winners.
Yeah. Black Widow was a Soviet spy
/ assassin.
Then ends up defecting to the U.S. Yeah.
Likes the bad girls.
Yeah.
Now, what was Daredevil's part in Civil War? Because
He didn't have a big part in Civil War.
Well, he was gone from New York at least, right?
Yeah.
Because you said Iron Fist had to step in to cover for him.
It wasn't Civil War. It was during Secret.
It was for Secret Invasion.
Yeah, it was Secret Invasion. Yeah, Daredevil didn't have a big part in Civil War, mainly because Daredevil is a street level hero.
Street level dude, foot patrol.
Yeah, what's he gonna do against the likes of like Thor and Iron Man?
Good luck. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Wherever, I think I heard him over there.
Yeah.
I think I heard him over there.
Yeah. So
he's a little bit of his element.
That's why I don't have too many big moments for Daredevil, other than like what I've already talked about. Because Daredevil, even though he's been a consistent character since 1964,
he's not a huge heavy hitter.
He's not a huge heavy hitter, and he's not really shown a lot in like big crossovers. He does a lot of team ups. He does team ups.
One-on-ones though, but not with the groups.
Exactly. He doesn't do big events like the Infinity Wars, the Infinity Gauntlet, and Civil War, and Secret Invasion. He's not really relevant in those.
He's like an extra.
Yeah, that's right. Like Shang-Chi has had more of a relevant role than Daredevil.
Now, is that the new Asian hero that they're coming out with?
One of the movies, yeah, in Phase 4.
Ah, okay, and they just casted the actor for that too.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
He plays on Kim's Convenience.
Yeah,
it's a little comedy TV show on Netflix actually.
Is he Asian?
He's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's actually he's a Toronto.
Oh yeah.
Toronto local.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll look in on that. I have no idea anything about the backstory of that character.
No.
Never really heard about him, so you're gonna be on your own for that one.
That's fine. That's fine.
But what has he done with the Avengers? Because I know that Daredevil's now an Avenger. He's classified as one essentially. Is it just from Secret Invasion? Just from kind of helping along? Is he an Avenger in the sense that Spider-Man's an Avenger?
No, Spider-Man's more of an Avenger.
I would say Spider-Man's more of an Avenger.
That's right. Like saying Daredevil is an Avenger is like saying Blue Beetle is a Justice League member. Which eventually everybody joins the Justice League.
The Justice League, it's like everyone pays dues. Like everyone, it's like a union.
Exactly.
Everyone's in.
Eventually everybody joins the Avengers at one point. The Beast was a member of the Avengers.
Okay.
Angel was a member of the Avengers.
Really?
Iceman was a member of the Avengers. Storm was a member of the Avengers.
Shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody is.
Okay, then alright. I thought it was exclusive.
No, that's why like I'm not really putting a focus of him with the Avengers. Maybe it was never a focus of his story. It's not a big thing about his background. If he was a one-off, he's never he's not a mainstay.
No. Now, okay, so why does Daredevil differ from other heroes?
Just the fact that he is anybody who's a big martial arts fan, kung fu fan, like he's always fighting the ninjas. He's always fighting crime syndicates. He's got a darker feel to his stories, a more realer, grittier story to him. But if you're not interested in like somebody who's killing everybody like the Punisher, Daredevil is a happy medium. Daredevil is
beats you real good, so you're bloody and
yeah,
bloody
really,
and blue.
Really good action. He's a really good action superhero.
Won't kill you though.
He won't kill you. So he's more violent than Iron Fist or Shang-Chi because he's willing to go further than they are, but he still won't kill. So he's like the happy medium.
Yes, he's the fine line between Superman and Punisher.
Yeah. Sure. More like the in between Punisher and Spider-Man.
I was gonna say Spider-Man, because I guess if Superman flicks you, you're still gonna get bruised. Spider's just gonna wrap you up in a web.
To be honest with you, Spider-Man too, if he flicks you, you're gonna get bruised.
But most of the time, he's gonna just web you.
Yeah.
Stick you up, tie you up. All right, submission. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Shut up. You sit there till the cops get you.
Yeah.
Now, he's more of a vigilante.
Yeah.
Because he's been known to go against the law, go against the authority.
Well, that's why he does what he does. He's a lawyer by day, and people he can't put in jail as a lawyer by day, he goes and beats the shit out of them by night.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's like, well, you got off the hook in the court of law. Well, now you're on this hook.
That's right.
The left hook and the right hook.
That's right. That's right.
Now, we talked about it in earlier episodes, but do you want to speak upon the fight scene?
Oh, God. So, yeah, let's drop talking about the comics for a second and just focus on the show.
Before we do, though, let's give him a nice visual.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, you intro that one.
Intro, what?
Show him the real costume, the man that we've been talking about this whole damn time.
Not really the real costume.
No, that's just a knockoff.
This is the 90s cartoon where he was wearing, like, this armor.
Now, would that be the armor like he got from the mechanic?
The mechanic thing was all...
Was that all Netflix bullshit?
That's all Netflix stuff.
That's not in the show at all.
He might have been in the comic. He might have been responsible for this armored suit, but like, from all the reading that I've done, all the research that I've done, there is no mentioning of him.
Okay.
And then the Kingpin, originally a Spider-Man villain, but then Frank Miller brought him in as a Daredevil villain to be a constant threat instead of having like the villain of the week. Kind of thing. They made it so that Daredevil could have a permanent, continuous villain.
A head honcho to keep sending rookies at him.
That's right.
That's all Kingpin is.
Yeah.
He's literally just a guy sitting there being like, next,
Yeah.
next.
Pulling the strings.
You go for him, you go for him.
Yeah.
And every once in a while they figure out who's sending people at them and they go give him a visit and he's like, alright.
Yeah.
And starts throwing some haymakers.
Yeah.
That's Kingpin.
Apparently, so when Kingpin was introduced, he was mainly a Spider-Man villain, and then before he became a Daredevil villain, one of the last stories he had was Spider-Man. He ends up giving up being a criminal. He had the choice of either continuing being a criminal or be with his wife Vanessa, and he chose Vanessa. He decided to quit his criminal ways to be with his wife. And then next time you see him, he's now the Kingpin of crime, the arch nemesis of Daredevil.
So you didn't go with Vanessa?
I guess not. Something must have happened between them, in between that and then.
And that was the finale of him exiting Spider-Man?
Pretty much.
I'm going with Vanessa. Psych, new town, new side girl.
Yeah.
Fighting Daredevil now.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Netflix show is amazing. It is very debatable between which one I like more, between Daredevil and Punisher. I've mentioned this in our Punisher episode.
It's a hard pick.
But season 3 is a high contender. So season 1 was fantastic as well. Season 1, there was one, like episode 1 or 2, was it? Where they had the hallway fight.
Yeah. Or do you mean like the stairwell?
Not the stairwell. Stairwell was season 2.
Stairwell was good too.
Yeah.
Beating everyone coming out of the building.
But season 1, that hallway fight, was the first time we seen them do that one long shot fight scene, and it's one of the best fight scenes any of us have seen in a very long time. Like,
I didn't know it was continuous.
yeah, it's one continuous shot.
Well, I knew season 3 was right because
Yeah.
you told me that, but I didn't know the one
Yeah.
In 2 and 1, that must have been their practice. I
Yeah,
guess, huh?
well, that's just it. Like, so they did the one continuous shot for the hallway fight scene in season 1, and I got such great praise and recognition that they're constantly trying to recreate it and one up it. So in season 2, they had a stairway fight. That was one long continuous shot as well.
That was
Yeah,
good.
because now instead of just linear, it's linear and then down the staircase.
That must have been so fucking hard to shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
And-
getting the angle.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, and then season 3, they upped it even more with the fight in the prison.
The exit scene, the escape.
Yeah, the escape of the prison, because in there's so much going on. Criminals fighting criminals, fighting guards.
Let me set the scene.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in season 3, at this point, shit's tough. Like, Kingpin's coming down, you know. Electra's in the scene, Electra's gone. Matt's beat, broken, losing friends and family, you know. Foggy's not really working with him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost contact with everyone. So at this point, he goes into the jail,
Mm-hmm.
impersonating Foggy Nelson, saying, hey, I'm here as a lawyer to speak with whoever the fuck. And makes his way in to meet with the guys that the Kingpin had, exposed?
No, the Kingpin just wanted them dead.
So there was this bunch of criminals inside jail that basically the Kingpin had hits on. One dead and was trying to take out anyone.
It was because Daredevil had threatened him in season 2.
Yeah.
He was threatened Vanessa in season 2. So when he found out that, and he thought it was Foggy at first, because Kingpin thought it was Foggy because he was impersonating Foggy. So Kingpin was setting up Foggy to get killed, but then in the camera he saw it wasn't Foggy, it was Matt Murdock, and he remembered the threats that Matt Murdock made on Vanessa, threatening that Vanessa will never come back to American soil as long as Matt Murdock is alive. So that's when Kingpin set up the trap.
Yeah, now, he didn't even want the people in jail dead, did he?
Who did? Who?
Kingpin.
Oh, Kingpin doesn't care.
Yeah, but he had made them think they did.
Yeah.
So he basically lured him into the jail cell to figure out why is Kingpin doing this? Why is he pulling strings? And then trap gets sprung. Matt's now in over his head, and everyone in the damn prison, from guards, inmates in between, everyone's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And then it's the fight scene out.
Yes.
Take it from here.
Yeah. So he's fighting criminals going down the hallway. So the reason why Matt is in the jail is because they're actually trying to get to the Syrians.
I think so.
Because Kingpin, how he got out of jail was that he ratted out the Syrians.
That's what it was. That's why he was trying to get in. Yeah.
So Matt was trying to find out why the Syrians. What does Kingpin have on him? What does Kingpin have to gain to rat
Take
out?
them out.
Yeah, exactly. So he was there to see the Syrians, and so what he's trying to do now is not only is he trying to escape prison, that's now gone completely rogue. All the prisoners have been released, and they're killing the guards. It is a complete riot. But he still has his mission. He still needs to find out why Kingpin was after with outing the Syrians. So he's still trying to get to them as well. So as he's going through the prison, fighting criminals, saving guards, fighting guards, it's just complete chaos.
Finds himself finally in a back room with the Syrians.
And the Syrians tell him that the Kingpin was never stabbed. Well, he was stabbed, but Kingpin set it up. He paid the guy to stab him so that he could be taken out of prison into protective custody. It was all a setup. And then the guy who stabbed Kingpin was actually given an early release, even though he wasn't supposed to be. He was supposed to be in solitary confinement. So
he was in jail. He was free.
Yeah, so that was the evidence that Daredevil needed to put the Kingpin back in jail.
Yeah, that it was all a hoax. It was all conspiracy. That he was, because he had all played it off like he was a changed man.
Yeah. He
had been in jail, and he had learned his lesson. He'd faced death. He'd almost been killed by the stab wound, and the Syrians were after him. Everyone was after him.
Yeah.
But no, it was all set up. he was ratting now on the Syrians, on all the other mob bosses, crime family. He was basically trying to get everyone locked up, so he was the only ruling power left in the city.
Yeah.
And that's what Matt busted into prison to find out.
Yeah. So when he finds out about all this stuff, the Syrians are now helping him to get out of the prison so that he could exact revenge on Kingpin.
Yeah, shut him down.
And so far, everything that I've listed off, even the conversation with the Syrians, and then the Syrians helping Matt escape the prison, going through gate after gate, putting on a cop's uniform, fighting cops in riot gear, fighting criminals using riot gear. This is all one take. There's no cut or anything. It's still just one take for this entire season.
Yeah, it's maybe episode 8 or 9 or something of like the 3rd season. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it.
Actually, it's like episode 3 or 4.
It's early. It's earlier on.
It's an
Is
early
it?
episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, fuck, it was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah. And we've already gushed over the guy who plays Bullseye, and he does a fantastic job. Vincent D'Onofrio kills it as Kingpin in all 3 seasons.
Oh. Yeah, the acting done by Kingpin is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Huge man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Puts on a good show.
Yeah. He's always been a good actor. Like, if you ever watch Full Metal Jacket, he's the one character.
Describe it.
He's the one character that you remember. Only 2 characters you remember. You remember
The
Gomer
drill
Pyle
instructor. Yeah.
and the drill instructor.
Yeah, and he's Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
Fucking. God damn, I did not even realize that.
Yeah.
Put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. The actor that plays Matt Murdock. Thoughts on him?
He's good.
Could you see anyone else play the role instead?
Easily. That's one of the appeals of being Daredevil is he can be anybody. Like he's a blind lawyer. You just get somebody who's relatively good looking, who's in relatively good shape, who looks like he could be very intelligent.
Playing the blind part's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I find the actor does it well.
Yeah.
Like you feel for him, you empathize. He's stumbling around every now and again, but that's not Daredevil. That's Matt.
That's right.
Right? He's put it on the show for people. So
That's right.
realistically, yes, Daredevil is an easy blind guy to cast. You pick anyone who fucking's normal and you just have him wear, fuzzy contacts.
Yeah.
Act normal.
Yeah. That's why Ben
Act
Affleck
normal.
was a good choice. It was just a bad movie, but Ben Affleck was a good choice because, like I said, what did I describe? I described a good-looking, good-looking guy who's in shape, who could look intelligent, who could look and sound intelligent. It's Ben Affleck.
He can fake intelligence.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like he was very intelligent
Just
and like. Actually, no, he wasn't the more intelligent one. Matt Damon was the more intelligent one in Good Will Hunting. But he was very intelligent in Good Will Hunting as well.
Yeah. He's played some roles. We'll give it to him.
He was very
You did a
intelligent.
better... I'll give it to you, Ben. You did a fucking better Daredevil than you did Batman.
Yes. Although a lot of people love his Batman. More like they love the fight scene. Not the fight scene between him and Superman, but the fight scene between him and the goons after him and Superman do their fight. So when Batman is going to save Martha, he's going through that building. He's fighting those goons through that building, and he's like going through walls and pulling people through walls. And
Don't even remember it.
I barely remember it too.
I
'cause
don't
try
even remember
I try to
it.
blank that movie out of my memory.
Yeah, like...
It's such a bad movie.
Like, I never bought his Batman.
No.
And then, like, even when they show him training and working out for it, it's like,
Yeah.
you fat man. You're not Batman. Fat man.
Well, bulk man.
Fucking Affleck.
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, he got a little bit too big.
Yeah. Yeah. Balking a little too hard.
Yeah.
Wrong trainer.
Yeah. 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 Because Batman's supposed to be a ninja, not a bodybuilder.
That's what I mean, man. Like, he made him beefy. And, like,
Yeah.
I know he was supposed to be old, aged Batman, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Billionaire pays for better trainers.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that Ben Affleck's Batman, like Ben Affleck played the best Batman of any of the live action people playing Batman.
Who said that?
I've heard it from multiple people. It's a popular opinion.
Really?
The movie is shit.
But the Batman's good.
But Ben Affleck as Batman, not as Bruce Wayne, but as Batman, a lot of people say he's the best Batman.
Oh, he's the worst Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Well, what Bruce Wayne?
I get okay. He's got a butt chin, and he can do the. I'm Batman. I guess like if you talk like this.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Not buying it. I was never a fan of Affleck.
No.
In any movie he's ever done, like, I'll watch it. I don't hate him or nothing, but it's like
I'm a Ben Affleck fan.
he reminds me of like he's like an NSYNC actor.
Yeah.
He's like a Backstreet Boy actor. I don't know. There's just something fake about him.
All right. See, I grew up to him because like I loved him in Dazed and Confused, and I loved him in Mallrats, and in Chasing Amy, and in
See, I watched all
Dogma.
those. I watched all those growing up. Dogma, I like him best in.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I like him best in Dogma.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy, he's just a spud.
Yeah.
Mallrats, he's not the focus.
No. But he does have some great lines, though.
He's got some good lines. He's
Yeah.
got some good one-liners. Yeah.
And
He's a hit or miss character. Like I said, Daredevil, I like better for him. Not Batman. Not Batman. I want to know who they pick next.
for Batman,
Yeah.
they already casted it. It's fucking Twilight.
Oh, God, I forgot Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
When's that supposed to hit?
I don't know.
Later days.
I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I am a fan of Robert Pattinson as Batman. I am.
I honestly, dye your orange hair and we'll talk. But, like, I don't see anything bad with it.
No. No.
He's got the jawline.
Yeah.
Just no sparkles this time.
Yep. No. Maybe sparkles at home.
Your sparkles at home, glitter pyre.
I saw this great meme showing Robert Pattinson trying to force whatever his name is, the werewolf guy, into a Robin costume.
Oh man, that's so good. Come on, man, just be my sidekick. Just get in there. Yeah, I don't know his name. Jacob.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. That dude. Well, what?
Anyways, getting back to Daredevil though. One more thing I want to talk about before we wrap is touch a little bit on Defenders.
Ooh, yes.
Because
We only got
Daredevil
one season.
Yeah, and Daredevil was part of Defenders. So, straight up, before anybody asks, that is not the comic book Defenders. The Daredevil was never part of the Defenders. Maybe if he was, it was for a short stint. The Defenders originally was the Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Namor the Submariner. And
Those three.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, that's just funny. Imagining those three in a room together.
Yeah. And then eventually they get joined by Silver Surfer and Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the main
Like Valkyrie that we saw in Thor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So eventually the main cast of Defenders, it's Doctor Strange, Hulk, Namor, Silver Surfer, and Valkyrie.
Yeah, they didn't get any of those guys in these Defenders.
No, no.
They got all those fucking B-listers.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist,
and Daredevil.
Daredevil.
They're pretty
missing
much
that guy too.
They're pretty much less the Defenders, more the Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, no shit. Plus a few.
Yeah. Well, Heroes for Hire was mainly Iron Fist and Luke Cage, but they had expanded to include Misty Knight and Jessica Jones for Heroes for Hire.
And we finally see Misty Knight in the newest season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, well, she was in...
Donning a costume, I mean.
Was it Jessica Jones? Or was it Iron Fist where she got introduced? No, it was Luke Cage she got introduced. Yeah, she's the black cop. She ends up losing her arm in Defenders, and then in the second season of Iron Fist, she gets a robotic arm. Or was it Iron Fist that she got her robotic arm?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. No, I think it was Iron Fist. I seem to remember
I don't
her.
remember anyone getting a robotic arm.
Those. No, you don't remember her getting a robotic arm?
Those were shitty shows. I watched them once and forgot about them.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted to address. I just want to address that elephant. Is that the Defenders? Daredevil had nothing to do with the Defenders. Eventually, the Defenders ended up encompassing multiple different superheroes. They ended up becoming the melting pot superhero team for failing superheroes. Any superheroes where their main titles weren't doing so well, they would just throw them into the Defenders to try and spike their sales.
Let them cook into the soup.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't blame them, you know. Like, you can't win with all these. Not all these guys are heavy hitters that are going to last, you know,
Yeah.
a century.
There's some exceptions to that. Like, I never read the Defenders. I never read the New Defenders, but I did have the Secret Defenders #1. And the Secret Defenders #1 was led by Doctor Strange, and the members of the Secret Defenders was Wolverine, Spider-Man, Black Hawk, Nomad, and I forgot who else was in there. Ghost Rider?
Oh, he's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I said, you know, decades go by and some characters just get washed.
Yeah.
Some characters get left aside, and luckily Daredevil's made it this far.
Yeah. The New Defenders was Beast, Iceman, Angel, and I forgot her name, Emerald Dragon or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Daredevil's had a good run. You
Yeah.
know, 55 years and he's still going.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Do we know if season 4 is ever going to come back, or is it going on
Disney has
Hulu
not.
or Disney?
Disney has not made any indication on whether or not they just announced their Phase 4, which includes their new shows like WandaVision and Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
No mentioning of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. No mentioning of any of them.
Don't care about
So
Luke
it doesn't
Cage.
look like it.
Don't care about Black Lightning. Don't care about Iron Fist.
I never even watched Black Lightning.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, I heard different, but
It was like, it was very...
Black Lightning is not in that same lineup. Black Lightning is closer to the Arrowverse more than anything
It
else.
is. My problem, I didn't really have a problem with Black Lightning. It was just very, like, pro-prejudice.
Okay.
Like,
Pro prejudice.
it was almost like a very, like, anti-white show.
Okay.
Which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because, the way that they did everything, it was... They were showcasing a very old character, right? Who
Yeah.
grew up in a prejudiced time.
Yeah.
It was just weird the way that they showcased him on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. The action was good.
Mm-hmm.
The story was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I got into season 2, and then they went on like a hiatus midway through season 2, and then they never came back until way later.
That's usually the death of a show.
Yeah, like I find that killed it, because up to then I was still following along. It wasn't awesome, it wasn't great, you know, it wasn't a favorite of mine, but I was still watching until they did that,
Yeah.
and I lost complete interest.
That'll happen.
Luke Cage made what? Did he even get a second? He got 2 seasons, I
Two
think.
seasons.
Iron
Iron
Fist
Fist
got
got 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Jessica Jones got 3. Daredevil got 3. Punisher got 2.
I like Jessica Jones most out of all of them.
I like Jessica
in
Jones.
terms of Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and
Yeah.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
She's more relatable.
Yeah.
You see the weaknesses more, right? You see human conflict.
Yeah.
Um,
She addresses real life issues like
Mhm.
PTSD and surviving, coming back from being treated as a victim, being victimized.
absolutely, in many ways, mentally, physically, etc. Right?
Yeah. She has a lot in common with Punisher because Punisher touches on PTSD a lot too.
True. All right, I think that's everything that we have to say so far
Yeah.
for our Daredevil episode. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Next week is Vandal Savage.
Yeah, we're doing a DC one.
I'm doing DC, so next week is Vandal Savage. For you guys who do not know who he is, he's been around for a long, long, long time.
Odds are a lot of people of you might not know who Vandal Savage is, which is understandable. But yeah, we will educate people.
You may have seen him and not even known that you've seen him.
Yeah.
He might have been there without you even know he's there.
Yeah.
It's important to the timeline.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Very. All right. Well, thanks for joining us here on episode 12 of Worlds Collide. I am Justin.
Mitch.
Tune in next week, Saturday, 8 p.m. for episode 13.
Cheers.